everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ripple Effect, enriching Mindanao through responsible consumption and production. I'm Chelsea, and I'm here with my wonderful co-hosts Crystal and Andre. How are you guys doing?
Hi Chelsea, I'm doing well these days and I'm thrilled to know more today.
Hey Chelsea, I'm great, thank you. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. There's a lot to dig into. How about you?
I am good. Actually, I took something new today. And let me just say, it was a little pricey. I bought all the ingredients myself. And wow, basics like onions and garlic are so expensive now. It really got me thinking about how our choices impact everything from prices to the environment. Perfect timing for today's topic on responsible consumption and production.
Exactly. When we see prices go up or resources become scarce, it is a wake-up call about why we need more sustainable practices. So, today we're diving into responsible consumption and production from all angles, including what our faith and philosophy says about it. Let's get started.
Let's begin by providing some background information on the problem of careless production and use in Mindanao and the Philippines. Everyone is affected by this problem, whether they live in urban or rural settings. I'd be interested in knowing more about what our visitors, Krizia and Elisha, have seen firsthand and how it's affecting communities, particularly in rural regions.
You know, in some of the communities I've visited, it's heartbreaking to see how much of a toll unsustainable practices take. I remember meeting a farmer named Mang Jun in a small village. He shared how the increase in single-use plastics was clogging up the irrigation channels they use for their crops. He told me that every few days, he and some neighbors go out to clear the trash just so the water can flow again. It's exhausting work, and he worries that over time, it'll only get worse. Mang Jun is doing everything he can to keep his land healthy, but he feels like he's fighting a losing battle.
Yeah, I've seen something similar with a community near a forest area. I spoke with Aling Maria, who's been farming there for her whole life. She said that over the years, she's watched the nearby forest get cut down little by little to make way for farming land. But the soil quality keeps getting worse, and it's harder and harder to grow the crops her family depends on. She worries about her kids' future because the land isn't as productive as it used to be. These aren't just abstract issues, they are deeply personal struggles for people who are doing their best to provide for their families but feel trapped by forces beyond their control.
On the policy front, the government has recently launched a few measures, but much more has to be done to bring about significant change. We'll also talk about that in greater detail later.
So, we're all here because we care about building a better future for everyone. And one of the ways we can do that is by understanding what it really means to consume responsibly. The UN Sustainable Development Goal number 12 talks about this idea, urging us to make choices that don't benefit us now, but protect our communities and planet long term. But let's take it a step further and see what our faith says too. I'd love to hear from Althea, Alicia, and Krizia on how this connects with values like conscience, dignity, and our responsibility to care for God's creation. Maybe we can start with conscience. When you think about making choices that are good not just for yourself but for others, what comes to mind?
Great point! I also reference Proverbs chapter 21 verse 20, which encourages moderation. How can we encourage moderation in our consumption habits, especially in a fast-paced consumer society?
It's a challenge. One effective way is through education and awareness. When people understand the impact of their consumption choices, they're more likely to make responsible decisions. Initiatives like workshops and community discussions can help reinforce the value of moderation.
Now let's connect this to Mindanao. How can these biblical principles and responsible practices help address the challenges faced by the communities there?
Mindanao has incredible resources, but it also struggles with poverty and environmental issues. By promoting responsible consumption, we can uplift local communities. For instance, supporting local farmers who practice sustainable agriculture. It helps the economy and preserves the environment. It creates a cycle of benefit, which is the essence of the ripple effect.
That's a fantastic perspective. You mentioned sustainable agriculture. Can you elaborate on some practical steps that local farmers or communities can take based on biblical teachings?
Sure. One principle from Leviticus is the concept of letting the land rest. Farmers can implement crop rotation and follow periods to rejuvenate soil health. Additionally, they can focus on organic methods that minimize the use of chemicals, which aligns with the biblical call for stewardship.
Those are actionable steps that could make a significant difference. As we consider our own lives, what are some small challenges we can make to embody these principles of responsible consumption?
Start small. For example, choose to buy a local produce, reduce single-use plastic, and practice mindful eating. Even engaging with your community like supporting local markets or participating in cleanup drives can amplify the impact. It's about creating a mindset of responsibility.
Excellent advice. As we wrap up today's episode, let's reflect on how the teachings of the Bible encourage us to be responsible stewards of our planets. Let's embrace these values and work together towards a sustainable future.
Could you share your personal experiences with conserving resources at home? Elisha and Althea, what inspired you to begin this journey?
I've always been fascinated by the concept of sustainable living. I started small by reducing my energy consumption, opting for energy-efficient appliances, and minimizing waste. Seeing the positive impact of these small changes motivates me to delve deeper into sustainable living.
As for me, I was inspired by the idea of harnessing renewable energy sources. I was fascinated by the concept of solar power and how it could be used to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. I started researching different solar technologies and discovered of the potential of parabolic dishes.
Wow, that's fascinating. Can you tell us more about your idea of using parabolic dishes to promote sustainability?
Parabolic dishes can be used to generate electricity and heat water, which can help address the energy needs of rural communities here in Mindanao. Additionally, they can be used for water purification and desalination, which is crucial for areas with limited access to clean water.
That's a good way to promote sustainability. But how can individuals start making a difference in their daily lives to contribute to a more sustainable future? What advice would you give to the people in Mindanao who want to make a positive impact on the environment?
It's about making small changes and building sustainable habits. We can start by reducing our consumption of single-use plastic, conserving water, and choosing energy-efficient appliances. Additionally, we can support sustainable businesses and advocate for policies that promote environmental protection.
Thank you both for sharing your experiences that can help other people to practice responsible consumption and production.
To wrap up, today's discussion highlighted how even small everyday choices can create a big ripple effect. Embracing responsible consumption benefits our faith, our economy, and the environment. It's all connected.
Thank you to all our guests for your insights and the thoughtful conversation today. Before we go, would anyone like to share a final thought or takeaway?
I think it's essential for everyone to realize that our choices matter. Even small changes in our daily habits can lead to significant impacts on the environmental and our communities. Let's be mindful of what we consume and how it affects others.
I completely agree. It's about being conscious consumers. When we understand the implications of our choices, we can align them with our values, especially our commitment to serving others and respecting our natural resources here in Mindanao.
And I'd add that we should never underestimate the power of education. By sharing knowledge and experiences, we can inspire each other to make better choices and advocate for sustainability in our communities.
Your passion for sustainability is truly inspiring. We hope that your ideas will encourage others to take action and work towards a more sustainable future for Mindanao.
And as we close, let's end with a short prayer or reflection to ground our conversation in gratitude and hope.
Mindanao, a place with immense potential. However, Mindanao, like many others, faces the pressing issues of unsustainable consumption and production.
Irresponsible consumption and production have led to a host of environmental problems, including pollution, climate change, and resource depletion.
But we, as individuals, have the power to make a difference. By making conscious choices in our daily lives, we can reduce our impact on the environment.
Let's start with the basics. Conserve energy. Turn off lights and appliances when not in use. Opt for energy-efficient lighting and appliances. Save water. Fix leaky faucets, take shorter showers, and collect rainwater for gardening. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Minimize plastic use. Reuse items whenever possible, and recycle properly. Embrace sustainable living. Plant trees, create home gardens, and support local farmers.
Reduce food waste by composting organic materials. This not only reduces waste, but also enriches our soil.
Choose sustainable transportation options. Walk, bike, or use public transportation whenever possible.
It's time to take action. Let's commit to reducing our carbon footprint, conserving resources, supporting sustainable businesses, and educating others. By making conscious choices, we can contribute to a more sustainable future for Davao City and the planet.
A sustainable Davao, our shared responsibility. Start today, make a difference.